I had to.
Naturally, Chris. Oh, by the way, do you know you have 97 downvotes?
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. On what? On this already?
Yeah, on the stream.
Wow.
What's up, Anzo?
What's going on,
Awesome. That's awesome. 97 downvotes. I didn't know that was possible. Oh, well. I really could care less, although.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's kind of funny.
I mean,
not even live yet. We already have people hating on it.
Exactly. That's gotta love it. All right, so we're here. It's the Boba Fett Roundtable, or the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. Chapter 2 that's the Wednesday night, Thursday morning, whatever you want to call it. And we're here to discuss it. Before we get to that, let's get through all of this really quick and have you guys really quick tell everybody who you are and where they can find you and all that fun stuff. Start with you, Anzo. Anzo, tell everybody about yourself. And
what's up, guys?
That you think Pittsburgh is going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. That's a fact. That is a 100% fact. But other than that,
I don't want to hear about your Browns.
Yeah, Browns are garbage.
You don't think I know that? I hope the Steelers lose.
I know you do, but it's okay.
Share my pain.
Big Afford Entertainment, guys. You know the channel. Khaos List, Khaos Conversation, Rule of Three, OOC, all those shows, man. Just happy to be here. Let's do it.
Awesome. Yes. Next, comics division.
Sports ball. Let's talk about sports ball. Which I know nothing about. Anyway, hi folks. I'm Comics Division. I'm probably the smart ass of the group. You can follow me on Twitter at Comics Division, along with my YouTube channel, Comics Division. And you can find me all over YouTube on Unsafe Space and over at Neurotics Place on Friday Night Tights.
Indeed. All right.
Up next, you can also find me here too. Always leave that off.
Oh, that's true. That's very
most
true.
People probably can see that.
I need you to give me a 2-paragraph article about things you absolutely hate and put as much hatred and just spit and venom into it that I can put it on the website. You know, Comics Division's hot takes on blank. Anyways, great to have you as always. Same with you, Anzo. Up next, Danny Graham. Tell everybody about yourself, sir.
I'm Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. I am this year's Canadian Fantasy League football champion. I take that honor very well. Thank you, Anzo, for inviting me to your league. I just kick all y'all Canadians' ass. I think I was the only American on there, so I'm glad that happened, and I'm ready for the show.
All right.
Damn.
The Austinator, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I got my own channel. I just hit 200 subs on my channel. Well, actually, now I'm back to 199, but that's all right. We still hit it, though. So, celebration stream coming soon. I do a bunch of stuff over on my channel. Shadow Eye on Sundays. I'm usually also on Chris Knight's channel for the weekly wrap-up and also the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable, which, if I even show up to those. And you can also find me on Good Old Wrestling on Mondays, Splash Talk on Thursdays, at least until the Rumble starts up again. Galactic Chat on Fridays on Ninjoid's channel. I'm basically on everybody's channels at this point. Just go and subscribe to everybody. And, just Chris, thanks for having me on. I can't wait to talk about Boba Fett. And also, you can find me on Twitter. I almost forgot about that. At the Austinator17. Sometimes I tweet. Sometimes I retweet. Sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Go check me out.
Awesome. There you go. Last but not least, certainly, is Mr. Nindroid243. Nindroid, tell everybody about yourself, please.
All right. You guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243, where over there I am currently re-editing The Rise of Skywalker into my own version. There's a lot of hard work over there of visual effects shots, voice talent, animation, so much. And please, guys, if you're interested, go subscribe to the channel. It would be very helpful. And also, guys, I do Galactic Chat every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you, Chris, for having me on.
Absolutely. No problem with that at all. Let's get right to it, guys. of course, we talked about multiple things here, but let's start with our overall thoughts of Chapter 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. We'll go right over here. I think the top row, maybe not myself included, but I think the top row is the hater row tonight. I think. I don't know. But Anzo, tell everybody what your overall thoughts were.
Yeah, overall thoughts for this episode was meh. It was boring. Wasn't a fan. Didn't like it.
Phantom Zone.
First 14 minutes, I was feeling it. Then we get to the flashbacks, and I was just like, eh. So overall impression was, it was meh.
Okay. Fair enough. Comics.
Anzo kind of stole my fire. It's an improvement over the last episode, I think, but it's still pretty mediocre in my opinion. It's kind of one and done for me, man. It's like I watch the episode, I move on to other things for the most part. It's not like there's any kind of rewatchability for this episode or this series so far. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's congratulations, they created something. And that was it.
I will say something really quick to what you just said there. Whether or not I've liked any of these episodes for most of these shows, there is zero rewatchability, I think. I mean, There's been the only thing I actually have ever gone back and watched is the last few parts of Mandalorian season 2, the finale where they bring Luke back out. And more of that is for me to refresh exactly what he's doing and the things there, because there are some things about that I'm like, okay, besides the CGI, but that's about the only scene I ever go back to. And that's just a scene. It's not the whole episode. So
you don't go back to the Ahsoka scene? You don't go back to the Ahsoka episode?
Which one?
Ahsoka.
Oh, I have an appreciation for good Western Resolute Germ. Just not the show.
No, I actually have not gone back to any of the Ahsoka scenes yet. Though I know that the one where they're in the town and all that, she shows up and fights what's her name at the end of it. I like that. But I mean, again, it's just, I don't know. I don't disagree with the zero rewatchability, but I could be wrong. Maybe that's just us. Whatever. Danny, go ahead. What were your overall thoughts?
Thought the show was much better than the first one. I am not bored by it. I am intrigued with it. I know, like I said earlier streams, somebody timed it and 14 minutes was real and the other 38 minutes was unreal or flashbacks, whatever. I don't care because it's something new. It's something I hadn't seen before. It's something that I want to know about the character. So, so far, I'm all in. This series, since I can't remember the last series, I'm actually getting about 4:30, 5 o'clock watching this before I go to work. So I'm vested in it. So I have no problems with the episode.
Okay. All right. Very good. Ostinator.
Well, I don't know if it's because, Marvel pissed me off, over the last few series, but damn, I mean, I've been enjoying the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe it's just because it's been a while since I even watched a Star Wars related thing that's not Bad Batch or Bad Batch. But you know what? I like this episode. I'm kind of with Danny. It was better than the last episode. I'll go more into specifics about what I liked, but yeah, just overall, I mean, I'm enjoying myself because I'm just like, thank God it's not Loki or Bad Batch or, Hawkeye or WandaVision or really anything that's not related to Marvel or Loki.
Your ass going to the Phantom Zone too. What kind of backhanded comment is that?
I don't know.
A good one.
Right on, Anzo.
So also, you ain't like none of that stuff. You didn't like WandaVision. You didn't like Loki. You didn't like none of that stuff. Hawkeye.
I liked them. I just didn't think they were great. Like if I had to pick Cobra Kai over any of those shows, absolutely 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, right? Which we're kind of running into is that given my druthers when it comes to watching something, I would rather watch something else than this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like you said, Cobra Kai, Arcane, fantastic TV shows. Check them out; they're good.
Assholes.
Wait! You're saying this is better than Cobra Kai?
I'm not saying that.
Okay. All right. I'm not. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into the second season. I'm trying to get caught up. I know, but what I've
I'm
seen
saying
so far,
some
I'm sitting there
aspects
going,
of it is better than Cobra Kai. We just discussed last night some of the shit Cobra Kai do. Who the fuck gonna let their son that's paralyzed don't go to a professional doctor, but goes to a karate teacher and gets them back to health? That shit don't happen.
Hey, I'm not saying that good TV shows don't have crazy shit in them, because they do, obviously, from time to time. But when it comes down to it, I'd rather be watching something else.
The storytelling and everything is just so much better in Cobra.
Characterization is good.
Yeah.
all right. Last but not least, Nindroid, please tell everybody what your overall thoughts were.
Okay, I'm actually going to side with Danny and Austin. I thought this one was 100% better than the first one. I thought this was a huge improvement as well. I really liked Boba Fett in this episode a lot more. I also liked the Tuskens a lot more as well. And yeah, even the present day stuff was really great in this episode. And yeah, that's
awesome. Okay. My thoughts. It was all right. I didn't hate it. I won't say it was like knock it out of the park. I guess that Anzo kind of took the words out of both comics and mine. It's kind of for me, it was more like, okay. Huh. That's kind of what I felt at the end of this. It was like, interesting. And I'll get to that a little bit later. But okay, so what did we like? What did we like about the episode? We are going to reverse this and start down there with Nindroid. Nindroid, please tell everybody what you liked about this episode.
okay. Well, thanks to the whoever did the first 14 minutes thing. I really loved the first 14 minutes of this episode. I thought the present day stuff was really good. I love that we saw the twins of the Hutts, the cousins to Jabba the Hutt. Also, Black Carson, if I'm even pronouncing his name correctly, which he first appeared in the canon Darth Vader first run, which actually those comics are great. So I like that they brought him in and all of that, and it really does show that like they did meet before, which I really like that. He was also badass. Also Boba Fett to me was in even the flashbacks. I like that he stole the speeder bikes and he was trying to teach the Tuskens how to ride them and all that, because it was silly. And Star Wars can be sometimes silly and all of that, which that brought like me back to like some of the prequel stuff, like a prequel-esque feeling and all of that, which I had a lot of fun with, honestly. Also, the Pikes. I like that the Pikes were in this. They were dressed up like Crimson Dawn as well. So that's some hints that maybe Crimson Dawn is somehow involved within the show, which I like that. Because within the comics, Crimson Dawn is slowly rising back with Kira, which I like that stuff. And overall, there's a lot of connections and Easter eggs within this episode, but also like overall, I really like that we're seeing how Boba Fett, how he survived for 5 years up to Mandalorian, which I like that he actually became a Tusken Raider, because if you guys don't know, Tusken Raiders are multiple like species within canon. Like you don't really know what they are underneath. Like some could be humans, some could not as well. So I really like that stuff. It's interesting. At least that's my positives.
I hope they don't make them humans. I don't want to see the Tusken Raiders as humans.
I agree.
No, yeah. Okay. Well, very, very true. Very true. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Or Nindroid. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Austinator, what is the things you liked about this episode?
Well, I'm gonna probably echo Ninja and say the first 14 minutes were really good. Boba Fett came off as more intimidating in this episode than he did in last episode. Because last episode he really didn't do a whole lot. He kind of got his ass kicked, which I'm glad we got to see a bit more of the badass Boba Fett in this episode. The confrontation with the Hutts kind of gives me there's gonna be some conflict with the crime families, which I think that'll be pretty interesting in the future episodes, as long as it's done well. The length of the episode, which I believe was like 50 minutes, I actually think that was a good thing because, especially with the series that's 7 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, they do need to be They do need to be longer episodes, so I at least applaud them for that. The action was a lot better in this episode too, because the last episode, the action was okay, but it was very rough. Especially when they're like huddled together with like when everybody was like huddling around them with the shields and like they were fighting them. It didn't look really good, but I think just the action in this episode, because there was a little bit more space, and plus I thought it was just better shot, so I'll give them that. The hallucination sequence, that's kind of a negative, but I did like the whole like the transitioning between him like at that time where he was just in like his basically just slave attire basically, because he was with the Tuskens and he was in that attire, their work attire, and then also shifting back to like the OG Boba Fett, where it's like it's not like the black robes underneath, it's like the whitish tannish under suit. I'll call it under suit, because that's really what it is. So I thought that the visuals of that looked really cool. And just the tie backs to Crimson Dawn, which they might make an appearance, and if they do, is Kira going to be there? I don't know, but I would like to see that. Because at least then it would make Solo at least make me feel like wasn't useless to watch, because it kind of was. Otherwise, I think that's about it, I think, in terms of my positives.
Okay. All right. Danny, positives.
I'm going to echo everything that Ninja said. He said it perfectly. He said it perfect. I can't say anything other than that. Just to highlight maybe the sequence where Boba Fett first got the idea to steal the motorcycles from the guy. I like how that worked, how he went in there and did that. I like how he taught them how to ride the speeder bikes, and then to do the train to get the pikes off of there. I was engaged with all of that. So what Ninja said, I multiply that time 100. Well said, Ninja. That's pretty much all my likes on that.
All right. Comics, what did you like about it?
Well, I liked it wasn't the first episode.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling to come up with compliments for the show.
Okay.
Like I said, one of my biggest issues is that I don't see this character as Boba Fett. So, as I think this episode could have worked if it was a different character, but it doesn't work for me. So, yeah, it's not the first episode. Yeah, and the thing, I'll get to that in the complaint section. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sally Forth.
That's a question. We covered it off camera, but I want to ask you now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Comics. You said that if you didn't like the anti-hero Boba Fett, but
no, I don't like anti-hero Boba Fett. No, I don't.
Okay, but I thought you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if they show,
I said that if they're going to do it, they need to show him. And my issue with the show so far is that he already came out changed. It's not like, he came out and was started killing the Tuskens and the other guy. That's the thing. If he did that stuff and you kind of slowly kind of see this change in him, I could buy more into that. But it's like Boba Fett would never looked over that roadie and said, do you need help? If he started squealing, he would have snapped his neck, in my opinion. That's I think what the character would have done. He's supposed to be a ruthless bounty hunter, no disintegrations. I know. Everyone's like, oh, you're judging this character based off of like 5 minutes of screen time. It's like, yeah, it's basically what we've seen. You know, he's supposed to be this badass bounty hunter that works for Vader. He's not supposed to be a good guy. But if we saw this change over the series, you know, I could buy that a little bit more. But you know, he's already changed when he was dragged out of the pit.
Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily
else?
say he worked for Vader. He just took a job for Vader. So for me, there's never
Well, he's not
really
like he's Vader's employee, but he definitely, there was an exchange of money. you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
He
but
took a
bounty
job
hunters
from
don't
him.
have to
Well-
be bad.
Well, I
right?
think that the allure was, and I'm not sure if, I think that it was more that he knew that it was like a double bounty. He was going to get money from Vader and then be able to take him and go to Jabba. I mean, there was a lot on the line, and that's why all those bounty hunters showed up.
Okay, Resolute Germ. Yes, I am judging him based off of one line. No disintegrations. How do you interpret that? Don't tickle me. Come on.
I get where comics is coming from. I mean, I'm not going to say it.
It would be like somebody saying in a movie, "Don't shoot him in the head." No, you know, don't blow their heads off. I mean, how is he supposed to interpret that?
Obvious that he, in the movies, the 5 minutes we got, it is very obvious that he's a bounty hunter, and his preferred method to collect his bounties is disintegration.
Pretty
Because
much.
That's why he says it to him as he's passing by. I will agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, if the bounty said that he had to be alive, which in this case, it kind of is inferred that he is meant to be alive because
Right.
later on, he tells Vader he's no good to me if he's dead.
Yes.
So why the disintegration thing comes into play here, I'm not really sure, because you got two lines that don't quite work together. One, he obviously wants him alive, but Vader tells him no disintegration. So why
Well,
does it
yeah,
bother
he's
her?
no good to him dead because he's, you know, ultimately turning him into Jabba.
Yeah.
And
So
isn't this kind of holding true? Because like Mando in the Mandalorian was a part of the Bounty Hunters Guild, and they're supposed to be all badasses. But look how he changed his thought process for Baby Yoda.
It's a different one. It's a new character, right? When just because, and I get what everyone's getting at, just because you're a bounty hunter doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. I understand.
bounty hunters need love too.
No, but it's like, you know, you gotta see who he's working for, right? I mean,
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm
because
not
bounty
saying
hunters
that-
also work for law enforcement, I would say as well.
I ain't going that far to say a bounty hunter not a bad person. I'm just saying that usually everybody in that profession, there's some lines they won't cross.
Yeah.
That's
But like I
that's the
said,
point
it's
that I
pretty much
make.
established that, you know, Boba Fett will do that. With the Mandalorian, it's a new character, right? It's a blank slate. You can basically do whatever you want with that character when it comes to his morality. You know, you could definitely have him be that bounty hunter with the heart of gold kind of thing. But you really can't do that with Boba Fett, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anzo, what did you like?
First 14 minutes. That's it. That is it. I thought it was when the Hutts came out. I liked the way they came out. I liked their voices. They sounded good. Then we got the black Chewie bear, the black Wookiee, and I was like, yo, this is fire. And then we got the flashbacks, and then that's it. That's all I liked. Nothing else. Music sucked. Everything. Didn't feel like Star Wars at all.
I don't know what it is. I keep tuning the music out. At least with the
garbage.
Mandalorian, it annoyed me enough that I paid attention to it.
Right.
But that's
Yeah,
the thing.
this is
I think they
garbage.
heard. I think they heard a lot of people say something about the Mandalorian about how it pissed them off. So what they did is they basically took the Mandalorian music and scaled it back just a bit. There are hints of Star Wars music in here, but nowhere near the mastery that Star Wars music should be. I mean, that's what makes Star Wars, isn't it?
The music, yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Nick
like-
90% of the time.
Then George said that Boba Fett has his own theme. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
back in Empire, he does. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what did I like? Well, yeah, I like the Hut part. Now here's the thing. I'm pretty sure this Chewbacca character, this Wookiee, he looks very familiar from something else, and I don't know if it's like he had a cameo.
I think it's called the
in, like,
EU.
Well, I'm talking about he might have had a cameo. I think I saw him in Attack of the Clones or in Revenge of the Sith. I don't know which one of those. I I'd have to go back and look. It's not really important. I liked this Wookiee. He does look like a mercenary more than anything. It looks like something that he's paid to have some sort of freedom, but he is still confined by the Hutts. But he's obviously very serious about his job. I liked that whole interaction with the Hutts. It's very realistic to how lots of times in a public setting, you know, I hate to use the term mob, but it's almost like the mob, you know, where in a public setting, you hate each other. You might say words to each other that people hear, but it's bad for business if you do it here. And I like that. It seemed very, I guess I hate using this word for these types of shows, but realistic. It was like, this feels right. After that, it gets kind of, okay, what are we doing? I didn't hate the last part of it. Really didn't hate it. But I will put more of those things into what I didn't like, because that's where I think the last part of this show really fits into more often. So there's what I liked for the most part was that Jabba the Hutt scene. The whole bringing the assassin, the mayor shooting, having the guy shot. That was pretty cool. I think that was like him trying to impose his "I'm a badass too, motherfucker." Boom. But whether or not that's who actually sent him or not, I just like the whole feel of that first 14 minutes, like you guys said too. Okay, reverse. We're gonna go to Anzo first. What didn't you like?
Well, first, I didn't like the flashback scenes. I thought it was boring. And even in Mando, they did it a little bit better. You got a few minutes of a flashback. You understood the story. I think they could have done that with this as well. We didn't need to know he goes through all this training with the Tusken Raiders and all of that stuff. It just was way too long for me. Hopefully, there will be no more flashbacks, but I'm guessing there will be, because we're going to need to see why he leaves the Raiders now, right? Just give us a better contrast between present and flashbacks, because the flashbacks just went on way too long. The train sequence was okay, but I didn't think it was that great. I was just like, okay, another train. Saw that in Solo, so that was an issue. One of my biggest issues is like, yeah, okay, so they're making him an anti-hero. That's fine. But you don't really get any like motivation, like why he's actually staying with the Tusken Raiders. Like why? Like what is the point?
Or why he wants to be a crime boss.
Or that too, right? And I'm pretty sure we'll figure something out like in a flashback why. Maybe we'll learn that in the flashback, which again will just be like, okay, no more of this, right? So he has that little vision, which the freaking lizard goes up his nose, which was pretty weird, but okay. The lizard goes up his nose. He has the vision, and then he comes back with a stick. Like, where the fuck did you find a stick? We're in a desert. We've seen Tatooine. I don't remember seeing any trees or anything like that.
I always thought gaffy sticks were metal.
I thought they were too, but obviously they're made from trees, with trees in the desert. Okay, whatever, but that was just kind of weird to me. Yeah, that's all I can really think of right now. I hope it gets better, because right now it's not doing it for me at all. Like, it's boring. It's not doing anything for me. So Phantom Zone. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. Be a fan on the entire top row.
Oh,
for real.
Some more hate.
Straight from Star Wars fandom, and this is kind of funny because Star Wars does this a lot to themselves. It says it's crafted out of whatever salvage was at hand.
With the gaffy sticks?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it does say, and I saw it when I typed it up, it does say typically out of a hard metal. So,
Well, I get why they're doing what they're doing, right? Because if anyone picked up on it, essentially this episode is Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
Dances with Banthas.
Yeah, 100%.
And and my issue here is that they're turning the Sand People into a Native American, I guess, allegory or whatever. And at this point, I can't tell you what the Sand People are anymore. I used to know some of the lore around Star Wars, and because of Disney came along and throwing it out, I can't tell you if they're supposed to be noble savages or retarded chimpanzees, because we kind of got both in this episode, especially the part where he brought the speeder bikes back and they started beating on them. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's I always liked it when they were just kind of relegated to the background where they were taking pop shots at speeders. I mean, it made more sense then. I know they delve into the lore in some of the books and the comics, but all that's no longer canon. And I guess they reestablished it. I haven't read any of the books that are under Disney, so I haven't. So I can't tell you. I can't tell you what the same people were supposed to be anymore. Yeah. So the whole thing with the train and the people shooting out of this train that's going, I don't know, we'll just guess and say 200 to 500 miles an hour, and being so precise with those shots was kind of funny. The other thing too, what they were doing with that was, that was something that people in the Old West used to do, is that they would, on the train, when they would go through the territory and spot buffalo, they basically shoot them, from the train. That was part of what led to the decline of the buffalo and whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. I feel a lot of this is being kind of very on the nose with stuff, which is what kind of irritates me. But overall, like I said, that I don't know what Star Wars is anymore at this point. That's what really kind of bugs me about it. The other thing too, at the very beginning, with the whole thing, the mayor shooting the assassin, it's like anyone just like, oh, I'm just covering my tracks. Blam, I'm guilty. Haha. I kind of got that vibe off that too.
And even the scene with the dude where he's like, oh, you don't have an appointment, and they tried to make a joke of it. I didn't find it funny. I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, and that whole scene at that part, the whole appointment thing was like, that was so horribly acted. I was like, okay,
it was dumb.
Just bad.
At the end of the day, it's like, this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not the best thing. I honestly, I just don't care.
The whole mayor thing shooting the assassin, I did get that. It's like, he says it's somebody else. Then why shoot the guy? I mean, really, is that the punishment for everything? Oh, wait, we don't allow stealing. You stole an apple or whatever the hell the indigenous fruit is to Tatooine.
Blaster to the face.
Boom, done. Fixed. Yeah, granted, I understand the plus side to not having a judicial system. It helps rapidly get through things, and it cuts down population. There's a lot of pluses to it, right? Anyway. Okay, anything else?
Sarcasm is wonderful.
I know, I try.
Let me see. I'm sure I had some other stuff, but quite frankly, I don't remember anymore because this episode
Where's
was
your
forgettable.
sheet? Where's the freaking sheet?
Dude, I completely forgot about the Wookiee until Anzo brought it up.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Danny, what didn't you like?
Not much. I'm just saying, and maybe I'm a different sort of Star Wars fan. I'm not criticizing any Star Wars fan, but as a Star Wars fan, I would think there would be some interest in things that we haven't seen or read. And this is something that I've never seen or read. So that's why I'm interested. If other people aren't interested, I'm not saying anything negative or smart ass about it. You have the right to feel the way you feel. But I'm interested because I never knew how Boba Fett got out the Sarlacc pit. So now I'm seeing that. I never knew anything about the Sand People or whatever you want to call them. And I don't care whether they're humanoid, whatever case it is. I never knew anything about that based on what I just seen on the previous movies. I never read EU books, or I never read any kind of Star Wars literature to educate myself on their culture. So now that I'm seeing it, I'm learning another part of the Star Wars franchise that we all grew up on. So that's the lens I'm looking at it through. Not that it's exciting or whatever, because I think sometimes Disney has spoiled us. If things aren't blowing up or fight scenes, those kind of stuff, you get bored easily, myself included on some things. But on this particular thing,
I would disagree with that, man, because you don't have explosions for it to be exciting. It just has to be compelling.
I just use it as an example. I'm not saying it as an actual thing. But I've heard a lot of content creators said that it's boring or it's slow or it's this or that. I think that we now in a society, when it comes to certain movies, if things aren't fast-paced, quick, sometimes people can label it as boring and kind of this. So I'm not interested from what I've seen, my observation. Not everybody. There's always exception to the rules, but most people that I interact with on these panels use the description. It was slow. It was this, wasn't that. It was mad. It was that. So I'm just saying, from my point
Would
of
you
view,
accept the description of disinteresting rather than boring?
that's fine. Whatever word you want to put on
Because
there.
slow
I'm just
doesn't
saying,
always
I'm not.
mean boring.
I'm not disinterested. I'm not. I don't think it's mad. I don't think it's boring. I'm looking at it through the lens of this is something I did not know about Star Wars, and I'm interested because I'm a Star Wars fan. That's the lens I'm looking through.
Yeah, I just say slow doesn't always mean boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So
Like there are some shows that are slow burn that are really good.
And this one is just a slow burn, but it's not good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Danny?
Nah, that's it, bro.
Okay. Ostinator. What
There was a couple things I don't like. I was not the whole Boba teaching the Tusken Raiders how to ride the speeders. I feel like the scene kind of dragged on a little too long. Especially when one of the Tuskens like jumps on the speeder, sits down, and then immediately falls face first down in the ground. I'm like, all right,
That's stupid.
I mean, I got chuckle, but even then, I'm like, oh god, really? That was kind of stupid. And the whole lizard going up the nose, I'm just like, that's just gross, It's like I'm shooting this show, right? And I'm like, all right, listen, there's gonna be a scene where a frog is gonna go in your mouth. Okay, now bear with me here, and then you're gonna get a stick, and then you're gonna come back with said stick. It's like, I mean, I like the hallucination part of it, but I'm like, really, a stick? Like, couldn't it have been like something cool? Like, I don't know, like maybe he gets a blaster or something, or not even a blaster. Could he maybe just gotten something other than a stick? Like, that's just like, it's like me going out now and grabbing a stick. It's like, well, there it is. But, I mean, but otherwise, I don't really have any negatives for it. I mean, I overall enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Nindroid. What didn't you like?
That we did not get enough of the present day stuff. Honestly, that's like my biggest negative, even of the entire show. Because I feel like, yes, to me, the flashbacks are interesting, but we should be more focused on the present day stuff, honestly, because that's what they've been advertising, and all of that is the present day stuff. So it's like, I want to see more of the crime lord stuff, honestly. So it's like, I wish if they just extended it to maybe an hour with more footage, like 10 more minutes of present day things and all of that. And yeah, also the lizard thing, I mean, I wish if it was done in a different way than that. Honestly, because it was silly, but I mean, it's okay. I just wish if it was done a little bit better, honestly. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Okay, so really quick, the Sarlacc pit thing, getting out. It basically, it wasn't completely different from how they showed it. They just really could have done it better, more like what it was at least explained in the first place, which is basically, I can't remember what it was, but there was something about telepathics, that there was somebody or something about telepathics that he was able to get the Sarlacc to wrap one of its tentacles around his jetpack, causing an explosion, and then he used concussion grenades to get out. That's how he got out the first time, and there was a whole long story about he had this vengeance against the Sarlacc. But anyways, and I don't want to say I hated it. I'm trying to figure out that they're writing this new lore for Boba Fett because there isn't any lore. It's like the allegory comment that comics made is perfect. It's like this whole Native American thing going on. It's like, okay, fine, I get it. I understood the stick thing. The whole where did the stick come from thing. There's a lot of things in Native American cultures that people can go to the spirit realm or the spirit plane and bring things back with them. So
yeah, like the whole the lizard being the peyote ceremony, exactly.
Exactly. I mean, so I understood what was going on. I'm just trying to understand what does this really do for his character. And again, going back to what comics said about this whole, if he was a bad guy, and I don't think he was, I just think he was a hired gun. Okay, so I'm not necessarily on the bad guy side, but it's like, what about this makes him want to become what we're seeing in the beginning stuff or in the present day stuff? It's like,
yeah, what's the motivation for redemption at that point too?
Exactly. It's like, what exactly? So you're showing us the redemption, but then he decides that he's going to go and be a crime boss. We need to have that connect there. And so I'm just more perplexed than I hated it. But I'm going to put it over in this section because it's like I need something to kind of explain to me a little bit why we're going this route. I don't disagree with the fact that a show like Boba Fett would do much better just staying more in present day than doing these flashbacks. Flashbacks in any show or anything should be fairly quick. And you're spending 3/4 of your show on flashbacks. And it's like,
and to their credit, at least they're trying to show rather than tell, which,
exactly.
I think is way better. But to what Spotter's saying, I don't think they're trying to piss people off. I just think they can't tell a good story.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not that the showing and rather than telling is always better. But if you can't show it properly or get it across, and if that's what we're doing this whole series for, we're going through 7 episodes to at the end finally go like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Fine, I'll be on the back end and go like, okay, now I understand it. Now we see the picture. But right now it's like, okay, I didn't hate that scene. I didn't hate any of that. I didn't. It's just I'm more perplexed, which makes it hard because I'm thinking about all of that stuff rather than watching the show. So that's what I gotta say. Okay. We're going to start with Danny this time, and we'll go back through Austinator, Nendroid, up to comics and so on for overall grade and final thoughts. So Danny, tell me what your overall grade was.
Overall grade for this was give it a B+. B+, A- is what I'm really leaning towards. I kind of when Nendroid said something, kind of brought it to my attention again. I really wasn't a fan of that lizard thing up the nose. That's my only gripe. I didn't like that would keep me from giving it an A. But I'm between an A+, B, a B+, A- is the grade I'm at with that lizard thing, and that going through the spirit realm is the only thing I really could have done without.
Okay. All right, and I'm sorry, what was your grade again? I'm
fuck it. I give it A-.
A-. Okay. All right. Next, Austinator.
I'd overall give it a B+. I'm not at the point yet where I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna wait until maybe later down the line. Right now, when it comes to the show, I'm enjoying it, but however, I'm actually going to use this example with Loki. I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and then literally episode 3 onward, I'm like, oh god, really? I got to watch this? But so I'm going to basically give it to like episode 3 or 4 before I make like my real like, oh my god, is this good? Is this bad? But otherwise, I'm enjoying it so far. I really would like them to maybe balance out the flashbacks and present time a little bit better. I think that's something I should have maybe brought up in my negatives, so I'll bring it up now. I think that the flashbacks in this episode, I felt like they didn't balance it well enough. That's what I'll give the first episode credit for, is that they were able to do that a little bit better. Just even out the amount of time the flashbacks in real time's there, and I think the flashbacks would work. But otherwise, pretty good episode. I'm at least excited for it. I mean, it's not like the other shows where I'm like, oh god, like I don't want to watch this. I'm like, all right, it's Boba Fett, Star Wars. I'm ready to go. So overall, B+.
Okay, B+. Nindroid. Final thoughts and
Okay.
great.
A- for the episode. I actually really enjoyed this episode, even more than the first one. And overall, I'm excited for next week's episode. I've been pleased so far, unlike some people with the show, which that's perfectly all right. And I'm just looking forward for next week's. So yeah.
I cannot believe it. This is the first time I've been total agree with Nindroid. He has not said anything wrong, in my opinion, tonight.
Nindroid
And
like
what
the
was your
Last
grade
Jedi.
again?
No, I don't like that shit. I ain't saying
Back
that.
off of The Last Jedi. It's a sorely misunderstood
I'm talking about as it
movie.
relates to Boba Fett. I'm in total agreement with Nindroid.
Okay. And Nindroid, what was your grade again?
A-.
Okay, you got an A- also. Okay, fair enough. Wow. Yeah, you guys were like an echo chamber today. God
You know?
damn it, what is it with Yes Men? He collects them.
Yes, man.
That is
he's
a
spot
fact.
on, man. Anzo made a good point. He like The Last Jedi. There ain't no way I'm smoking enough shit to like that.
Well, even people as crazy and outspoken as I am have to have people that back them up. So
Well, Chris likes it too, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Totally questioning Chris's taste right now.
Oh,
Well,
facts.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I actually admit that there's problems with it. I'm not one
I
of
do
those.
too. I do too.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
just-
one
I-
of those.
I think one of the problems is that it
Crazy.
exists.
It was made.
Yeah, the movie was made.
See, Chris, at
Okay.
least you're acknowledging you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We could be here for a long time if I acknowledged all my problems.
Well,
Okay.
let's just take it one step at a time.
Definitely. And everybody's known about the Last Jedi problem for a long time. Comics, final thoughts, grade.
I think I'm beginning to see a pattern with this show, which is anytime he's in the back to tank, we're going to get a flashback. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be happening throughout the rest of the
I
series.
said that last night.
Mm-hmm.
And as for my rating, I give it 3.5 bloated Stuckmans and an uncomfortable jab to the eye with a gaffy stick.
Damn.
By the way, the lower the bloated Stuckman rating, the better.
Oh my god. They should have called it flashbacks from the Bantha tank.
Yeah, for real.
Anzo, final thoughts and grade.
Oh man. I gotta give it a D. I was gonna move it up to C because of the first 14 minutes that I like, but it's not enough for the rest of this show, so it's a D. It's trash.
Oh God.
Sorry, Daddy. It's trash.
At least you're being honest,
all right.
Anzo.
Yeah, I am.
Again, I guess I'm just more perplexed by that last part about it. It's not like I hate the whole Native American thing. I just question a lot of what they're trying to do with the Tusken Raiders, because I'm with comics. It's like, listen, you're trying to dive into something now that doesn't need to be dove into, and you're not even. I mean, if they had kept them this proud race and not had the stupid like trying to tear apart the speeders right away. Granted, I know that they don't like technology, but I don't think they'd even get near it if they didn't like technology. They'd stay away from it, be scared of it, things like that. I mean, that's how people who see things, tribal groups have always, if they don't know something, they stay away from it. They don't want to approach it because there's some lore behind it that, if your picture gets taken, your soul's gone, things like that. Rarely is it something, go walk up to it and tear it apart because that'll do you good. I mean, so there's some things about that I'm like questioning. Overall, though, I will give it, I'll go C+ again. I think I did C+ B- last week. I'll go C+ this week because
it totally blows my mind. 6 people could watch the same show and grades be so far off.
That's why we do these things, though.
Yep.
because it's about opinions. I mean, I'm in the middle of all this right now with the thought of I have to see this move someplace, and I'm afraid that they keep doing these.
Hey, I want to address
flashbacks.
something real quick from Spotter. Okay, dude, how can he basically says I don't understand how you can give it a D in 2 episodes, give it a chance. Well, that's like saying I don't understand how you can give it an A because you haven't seen the whole series yet. I hate that argument, dude. I really do. And what we're doing is we're grading the actual episode.
Yes,
that is correct.
We're not grading the entire series. It's just the episode.
Yeah,
this is an episode by episode grade. If you watch throughout this whole roundtable, at the end we will give our final grade for the whole.
Anyway, my point is, you would never say that to somebody who actually said they liked the show.
Yeah, that guy that said that the only argument that works is like when we watching that He-Man thing, people were just bashing it, the new He-Man Revelation, whatever it's called, and I think
it was still
me
crap.
and Anzo both said, we were going to wait till you see the whole thing. You can't say that this sucks because of whatever without seeing the whole thing. And then some people were proven right with their opinions and some people were proven wrong. So that would work. But like Count just said, this is just a episode by episode grade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Dandelion, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Spotter, thank you for you being here too. Zilla Nation, King, Darius, a lot of you guys are here. I appreciate all of you. So yeah, I go C+ because this is definitely one of those things that I'm on a precipice of which way do I go. We're gonna see. So I do very much think about the full length of the series compared to just what's gonna happen and all that. So I'm thinking of the whole series right now, but right now I'm in the middle ground of this. So that's where my thoughts come from. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for my panelists. We're going to go around one more time and talk about their channels, and then we'll be done. Nindroid, we'll start with you. Nindroid, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, please.
All right. You guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243, where over there I am currently re-editing and trying to fix the Rise of Skywalker into my liking. A lot of hard work is happening over there. A lot of visual effects shots, animation, voice talent, lots of great stuff there. So if you guys are somewhat interested, make sure that you come over and support it. Also, I do Galactic Chat every single Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk Star Wars, Marvel, DC, all the type of new stuff. So, guys, if you're interested, once again, check it out. And thank you, Chris, for having me on.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Thank you for being here. Austinator, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Hey, yeah, I got my own channel. I just reached 200 subs, so big milestone. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a celebration.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And everyone's invited, if anybody wants an invite. You know how like the droid, how like in Mos Eisley they have like their little bouncers and stuff? Yeah, we'll have that. Well, I'll have a party list. I do a bunch of streams over there. I'll just go through my weekly stuff. Sundays, I do a show called Shadow Eye. Earlier today, we did one ranking all the MCU releases of 2021, which that was a pretty interesting stream with me and enjoyed. Go check that out if you haven't seen it already. And also, you can find me on Chris Knight's channel, the Real View 3000, for the weekly wrap-up where we play Jackbox games. So go have some fun over there. And you can usually find me here on Chaos Central, also on Sundays for the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. And Mondays, you can find me on Good Old Wrestling on my channel, where tomorrow we're going to be talking about the best and worst of wrestling in 2021. So that's going to be pretty fun. Put on your socks and don't go in the pool with your Crocs on, because it'll be an intense episode of bashing and shit, because us wrestling fans are fickle. Tuesdays, you can find me on, usually on Austin and Friends Talk Pop Culture, where me, Jerry, Jonathan, and Angry Care Bears, we just shoot the shit. That just gets insane, but we'll figure out a new time for that. Splash Talk on Thursdays, Galactic Chat on Fridays on Nindroid's channel. Osnader and Angry Care Bears talk movies on Saturdays, where we just finished our Freddy's Dead review, and we're going to be doing a New Nightmare on this coming Saturday, so go check that out. And, also you can find me on everybody's channels at this point, and you can find me on Twitter at the Osnader17. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I share, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Go check me out. Chris, thanks for having me on. And before you get to Danny, I would like to say to always respect your panelists, because they take time out of their days to come on here and just shoot the shit. And I know sometimes it's not easy, especially with Star Wars and Marvel and stuff. But I appreciate. Just respect your panelists, and also you guys are awesome. Chris, thanks for having me on, and it's great streaming with everybody again. Hope to do it again next week.
All right, indeed. Next up, Danny Graham. Danny, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Hey, what's up? It's Danny, aka Comic Chat. Our shows are usually on Monday nights, Chaotic Conversation, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I won't be doing a show tomorrow because, as you can tell, and as you can see, I'm out of town. I don't have the equipment that I need to do it, so I will skip tomorrow night. But you can catch me on Anzo's show on Tuesday and on Chris's show on Wednesday. And I hopefully be back in town by next week so I can do the first square one of the season. That'd be going into the playoffs. So that is definitely a show I would want to watch, and a show I want all y'all to watch. If you not doing anything, please come by. Just about 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock next Saturday. And again, I enjoyed the show, enjoyed the panelists. I echo what what Osnader just said. We may not always agree on things, but we can always talk in a civil manner and leave not huffing and puffing about it, because we are all fans of this. But at the end of the day, it is not real, so there's nothing to get bent out of shape about. Hey, so I like it. Other people don't. It don't matter. You all gonna watch it. We all gonna talk about it, and I'm looking forward to next Sunday, the same time.
Indeed. All right. Anything else?
That's it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Mr. Comics, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Well, as always, guys, it was awesome hanging out with you. You can find me over at my channel, Comics Division, where if you like the show, don't watch my reviews. If you do, you can give me a hate like. You have my permission. You can also follow me on Twitter at Comics Division. And again, love and respect all you guys. It's great hanging out with you again.
Absolutely. Again, I think that the one thing that we have to make very clear, and we've said it a lot on other shows about this channel, is that we're not here to tell you what your opinion should be.
Yeah, exactly. We're just giving our
opinions. Exactly. Our opinions are our opinions. You don't have to agree with them. We just ask that you respectfully disagree. Don't sit there and call people names. Don't call people out for saying it. It's just how it is. It's an opinion, and like assholes, everybody's got one, right? I mean, anyways, Anzo, tell everybody about yourself, and yeah,
there seemed to be some stuff that was going on in the chat, man. Guys, just calm down. It's on this show. It ain't, no reason to put your panties in a bunch, But that being said, Big Afford Entertainment. Great show, Chris. It was fun.
I love having you guys here.
And one more thing. Danny only mentioned Square One because he won the fucking fantasy league. It's the only reason why he cares about Square One right now.
Who won the picks? Who won the picks though?
Yeah.
Who won
I won the picks though. Yeah, exactly. I won the picks.
Yeah.
In all the contests that we went up head to head last year and this year, how many have you won, Anzo?
I won the picks this year.
Against me.
I won the picks this year.
How many contests have you won out the several that we had?
Well, you were in this one with the picks. It's one.
Okay, you won that one, but I think I'm winning the top 5. I'm currently winning. I'm winning the fantasy. I beat your ass in versus. So what more do you want? I gotta give you one to keep you interested.
Hold on. First off, you didn't get to play me in the fantasy. It's because I didn't make it there. Had I made it there, I would have beat you.
I played you all year. I played with you all year.
Yeah, we had 2 games against each other, and I think we were 1-1. And this would have been the championship round, and I would have beat you.
Okay.
Just saying.
Bob Saget's gone now. Holy
Yes.
shit!
Yeah,
What
Bob
the
Saget
fuck?
died.
Bob
He
wait,
killed
what?
Sidney Poitier. Yeah, Bob Saget, I
Sidney
guess, is
Poitier
dead now.
died.
No
Sidney
fucking
Poitier
way.
died, yeah, and Bob Saget.
Well,
They come
I
in
knew about
threes.
Sydney, but damn,
They
Bob
come in
Saget too.
threes. Betty White, Sidney Poitier, and now Bob Saget. What the fuck
Yeah.
is this world coming
How old
to?
was Bob
Okay.
Saget? He wasn't that old, was he?
He's like in his 60s, maybe. About as old
Fuck.
as you are, Danny. Anyway, no. I'm so sorry. Don't hurt me, please. Don't hurt me, man.
Makes sense, though.
Anyways, guys, thank you. I really love the panel we got here. This is one time a week we're able to do this. A lot of us aren't able to get on our other shows and stuff, so I really like the time we get here. I am Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is my channel. Got lots of stuff over there. Check it out. Gaming, discussion streams, interviews, all sorts of stuff. And if you really want to know something about Boba Fett, actually, I've had the guy on several times. The guy who actually did the first official Star Wars content with Boba Fett, which is the animated portion of the holiday special. John Celestri, who worked for Filmation, drew that whole segment out. And I've had him on my channel several times. We talk about it. So you might want to go check that out. Guys, with that said, everybody, thank you for being here. And have a good day. Be safe, everybody. And just remember that it's an opinion and we don't have to be mad at each other for that. So, everybody, bye. Peace.